Volunteers deliver care and warmth to residents in remote areas after heavy snowfalls. The medical team brings the specially designed dental chair from Taiwan for the public to try. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Despite the cold weather in Russia, city volunteers have delivered love and warmth to the residents for the very first time. All this wouldn't happen if it wasn't for local worker Cao Yongjie. When she visited Beijing Jingsi Books and Cafe, a volunteer talked to her and found out that many people need help in the remote areas of Russia. Therefore, the volunteers decided to go over there to care for the needy.
The city of Moscow is now covered with snow. Although the weather is extremely freezing, Tzu Chi volunteers still came to deliver warmth and love to the residents.
It has always been a dream for us to come here, leaving Tzu Chi's footprints in the world's largest country, Russia. On January 8th, Ms. Chow visited the Jingsi Books and Cafe in Beijing. We were glad that volunteers Wang Zhihui accommodated and talked to her, so we were able to come and care for the residents.
Cao Yongjie works in Russia for more than 20 years. As she went back to Beijing visiting her family, she came to the Jingsi Books and Cafe. A volunteer talked to her and found out that there is large disparity between the rich and the poor in the country. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers decided to seize the chance to go there and deliver care. A group of Taiwan and Beijing volunteers brought eco-friendly scarves, warm clothes, and the Russian version of Jin's aphorism books to Kaluga City. Kaluga is 150 kilometers far from Moscow and is an industrial city. Unlike the capital, the city is less prosperous. Besides the slow economic growth, the volunteers also found out that there is a high rate of single-parent family in the city.
Around 70% of the children come from single-parent families. Basically, if the child was born with disabilities, the father will leave the family. As we can see, there are many people with disabilities in this population. Russia also has the highest rate of physically challenged people in the world.
Although the country has high rates of disability, but this did not affect children's education. The students receive good quality of education.
Over here, the teachers focus more on students' self-development rather than academic discipline. They hope the students are able to build up self-esteem and interact with others. If they can achieve this, then they can help others as well.
The eco-friendly scarves and the Jin's aphorism books were delivered to the local residents. As we can see, the friendship is slowly building up. Moreover, the volunteers hope in the future long-term care plans can be conducted as well.
U.S. city volunteers visit seniors in a nursing home every time they distribute rice in Haiti. In the past, these seniors only eat rice once a week. After the earthquake, Tzu Chi has supported them, and now they have rice to eat 5 days a week. These seniors have gotten more energetic, and they thank Tzu Chi with their beautiful singing.
Each time when we are visiting Haiti, we always to see all those elderly. Today we are using rice from Taiwan. Even before earthquake, they only have once or twice meal a week. Now we offer 5 days a week, 1 meal per day.
Autrefois, je travaillais uniquement avec les enfants qui sont des gens très pauvres et qui vivent misérablement. Quand j'ai eu l'opportunité.
Usually I only work with children, and they lead a very poor and miserable life. I'd once met Dharma Master Zheng Yan in Taiwan. I've witnessed her wisdom and her concerns to the low-income and forgotten people. I know I must also work with seniors and disabled people, so I knock on every door to help them. Sometimes I receive flour, and we will decide what to eat according to the food ingredients we got. I bought those beans and the rice from Canada.
Donc, on prépare la nourriture à partir de la farine. Le pois qui a accompagné le riz, eh bien, c'est un pois que j'ai obtenu du Canada.
Our goal is to let people here see their value and know that they are not alone. because this is their home. Some of them came here at 7 a.m. even though we told them to come at 9 a.m. They show how they care about this project. I'm very proud to be a volunteer here. It's a great love like this we have strength to fight for the future.
After the 2010 Haiti earthquake, city volunteers have continuously cared for local residents. Recently, there were many protests due to political unrest, which had caused difficulties in transporting supplies. But the volunteers have overcome challenges, and the rice distribution was conducted again this year.
L'école là aidé en pile, yo pas gen moyen pour ba ti moun yo ti moun nan vin là non seulement la pas prendre la manger. Pas gen manger pour manger, li pas prendre rien parce que depuis moun nan grand cool pas attendre ou.
In recent years, many protests have been held in Haiti due to high cost of fuel and government corruption. Therefore, the volunteers had to delay the rice distribution, but they had never failed to keep their promise. This time, rice from Taiwan was successfully transported to the capital, Port-au-Prince, and will be delivered to the impoverished area, Site Soleil.
I appreciate Tzu for everything. As you can see, the residents really need help.
Today, I'm very proud to be part of Tzu's distribution event. Dharma Master Zheng is a venerable master who we respect very much.
Local residents have been expecting the rice distribution for a while. On the other hand, the local volunteers came to help at the venue.
I've been assisting the rice distribution for 5 years already. Distributing the rice can help the parents because they can prepare breakfast for their children.
More than 3,000 bags of rice were distributed to over 1,500 households. Now many students won't go to school hungry.
Que bon Dieu nan grâce nan moun partager avec nous, li remet nous, remet petit nous, remet famille nous et puis li garder nous et puis pour nous toujours changer nous en Haïti pour peut-être manger avant nous pour capable aider nous avec ti moun nous. Que bon Dieu bénisse nous.
For many people with physical and mental disabilities, it is not easy to have a stable job and income. Therefore, the Taiwan Foundation for the Blind Shelter Workshop in Tuchen has established a safe environment where they can learn specific skill sets and receive a stable salary.
My former workplace was also a sheltered workshop. However, later some problems occurred, so I am no longer working there.
Xiao Jie, almost 40 years old, is a congenital visual impaired individual. She had many difficulties when it came to securing a job. That was until she finally found the TFB shelter workshop in Tuchen. These angels who have been forgotten by the mainstream society are all working hard to take care of others and themselves. It's not easy for the visual impaired and individuals with physical and or mental disabilities to be accepted by the mainstream society. It's even harder for them to enter the common workplace. Therefore, shelter workshops are a great transition spot. The language ability of this shelter workshop worker is quite decent. It's hard to tell from the outside that he has disabilities. That's why in his previous job experiences, false expectations arose, which caused much frustration.
In the general workplace in society, they just tell you directly the expected quantity that you must reach for the day. If you don't get it all done, then you can't get off work. We would never use this method here. For us, we hope that they can gradually get used to the type of work they are doing. The main goal for us is to let them work here happily and grow steadily in the process. This is not an easy task. When it comes to the overall division of labor, there are actually various combinations. No matter which workstation, it consists of individuals with different disabilities. Our goal is to have each workshop worker able to properly utilize each of their strengths and discover their potentials.
Meng Meng, who is affected by multiple disabilities, heads out every morning at 7:30 a.m. and makes her way to the shelter workshop. It's been over 5 years in the making already. As for Xiao An, it's been more than 7 years already.
喜欢来上班吗？
喜欢。
为什么？
可以赚钱。
那你赚的钱都自己花掉吗？还是怎么样？
这个我家的。
真的啊，你好棒哦！你赚到的钱你都怎么用？
都存起来。对。
准备以后要干嘛？
结婚。
Having a stable job allows them to have the confidence to bravely chase after their dreams.
刚开始来这边做手工皂的时候，有没有觉得好难？
不会，好简单哦。
好简单哦。所以一点都没有困难。刚开始来做的时候，有没有觉得学什么比较困难？
包皂，因为一开始包都是包不好，因为会破，因为一开始就一直膜就一直破掉。
那现在在折什么？
现在在放那个纸浆盒。
这是要放什么的？
这是要放香皂的。
对，我发现你们这一区特别轻松哦。
Xiao Jie has already been working at the shelter workshop for more than 9 years. Alongside everyone, she will listen to music while expertly putting the labels on the wrapping paper rolls. She seems to greatly enjoy doing the work.
小杰，你有被退货过？常常被退货。
因为我都不可能被退货，因为我都在做货端。
In order to provide well-rounded care to all the different shelter workshop employees, the employment counselors put in a lot of effort to form the teams.
In order to fully get to know a sheltered workshop worker, we must first understand what kind of disabilities they are affected by. Some individuals might have physical disabilities, like hand movements or overall mobility issues. However, the main division of labor comes down to first understanding what the task entails. Then we would take the complicated work content and break it down into very simple steps for them.
Do not underestimate their abilities. Practice makes perfect. The proof is in these exquisite and beautiful results.
我包的暗认头画手工皂，超开心的。
这是我折的纸盒，它超困难的，但是我很厉害。
这是我听的背标，然后我宾馆的生理板石，我很厉害哟。
Perhaps the transition from the shelter workshop to the general workplace in mainstream society is still a long ways to go. However, at least they gain the capabilities of leaving the dark corners and bravely embrace the world one day at a time.
The medical exhibition at the recent Year of Blessing ceremony in Singapore was a huge success because of the specially designed dental chair imported from Taiwan. The public was able to experience it.
When the wheelchair is locked, the patient can lie down and receive dental cleansing. This wheelchair support imported from Taiwan can allow wheelchair users to receive dental treatment easily.
This is special because one of my uncles uses wheelchair. Every time he goes to the hospital, someone has to support him when he walks, and he also walks very slowly. But this equipment is very convenient because the wheelchair can simply lock onto this and remain still.
This is one of our spiritual ideals: gratitude, respect, and love. When we treat patients, it's important we treat their minds. This is something the Master has taught us. We also want to form good affinities with the public and interact with them. If we can interact with them, they will be moved, and in the end, they will become our volunteers.
I definitely have no problem sparing my schedule for Tzu. This is natural because I want it. I want to help Tzu.
Alex always takes part in Tzu events. 4 years ago, he went to the Jinsi abode in Hualien and understood Tzu better. So he vowed to join Tzu, and now his vow has come true.
Don't need to be a medical professional to volunteer in the medical volunteering journey. That is a great idea. I always tell everybody that whenever you have time, don't watch television, go and volunteer your time. You will find that you will be a better person.
Whether it is free clinic or visiting patients' homes, the volunteers are also as important as the medical staff. During the 2-day medical mission exhibition, the members and the volunteers promote Tzu's medical mission and also try to recruit the public to become medical volunteers so they can help more people in suffering.
At the Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion in Taichung, some volunteers use PET bottles to make accessories. The designer is 62-year-old volunteer Cai Su, who enjoys making handicrafts in daily life.
用宝特瓶来做平安吊饰，有没有漂亮啊？
These blue and crystal clear accessories are especially eye-catching with the beads and Jing's aphorism cards.
It's really beautiful because the PET bottle itself is beautiful. The crystal blue looks like a nice glaze. I wanted to learn it as soon as I saw it.
Many people want to learn to make it as the steps are simple and fast. First, cut the PET bottles and keep the bottom part, and then stick two of them together.
You can put glues on both sides and then stick them together like this, but you must clip it together.
After the glue is dried, you can put on decorations according to your preferences, and it's done.
It's wonderful that we can promote this. It's because of the慈济big family, I can show people what I made. Otherwise, nobody saw my crafts before I came to慈济.
Cai Su enjoys making handcrafts in daily life, and this PET bottle accessory has won great compliments. Many volunteers are teaching the public to make it at the Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion.
Children all love it. They were all excited to DIY their own ones.
It's very special and beautiful. It's smart to use the bottom of PET bottles to make accessories, especially if there are also Jing's aphorisms on it.
Volunteers have demonstrated to the public creative ways to recycle PET bottles, showing how there are diverse methods to protect the environment.
Next, let's take a look back at today's major events in January and February of 2018.
佛陀2000多年，他如何教菩萨法？没有气，只要有一点力，我也要把最后的一口气要挤出来。不管怎么样，我都要坚持把《法华经》讲完。
20为爱坚持。
On January 1st, 2018, DaAi TV celebrated its 20th anniversary. In 1998, DaAi TV was launched.
大爱让世界亮起来。
Many senior members of the media were invited to the celebration event. DaAi TV's leading executives also shared their vision for the station.
念兹在兹的是要净化人心，
变成主流的清流媒体，
绝对是真实的，没有夸大，对不对？而且很感动。
Throughout the years, be it dramas, news, or programs, DaAi TV has been striving for excellence and living up to Dharma Master Zheng Yan's words spoken on the day the TV station went into service.
一直努力到人人的心有这个清泉，这是开台的那一天我说的话。倔强心的心，付出永不悔，让我是觉醒人，给需要的人甘甜。
On February 6, 2018, close to midnight, a magnitude 6.0 earthquake rattled Hualien in eastern Taiwan. In an instant, 4 buildings collapsed. rescuers raced against time to free survivors from the rubble. In Hualien Tzu Hospital, over 100 doctors and nurses rushed back to duty. Tzu members at their headquarters in Hualien immediately prepared hot meals and drinks and delivered them to people taking refuge in shelters. In shelters, Tzu volunteers quickly set up portable beds. Concerned about the affected areas, Master Zhengyan went to inspect the damage in person. Relief supplies poured into Hualien. Tzu volunteers from other parts of Taiwan all gathered in Hualien to bring comfort to those affected. A concert was also held to support Hualien.
地震那天，我姐姐人正在花莲，她告诉我，他们一路受到慈济人的关怀以及陪伴，而且越晚，慈济人越多。所以今天，我带着一颗感恩的心，要来谢谢所有的慈济人。
People across the world prayed for Hualien. Tzu members in 35 countries and regions also fundraised for the quake survivors.
The Tzu Liaison Office in Yilan hosted a hot pot event for care recipients to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Among them were 3 recycling volunteers who suffer from illnesses. Now they have found joy in their lives.
At the Tzu Recycling Station on Xi'an Street in Yilan, there are 3 dedicated and cheerful recycling volunteers.
My heart feels joyful here and my worries fade away.
There was one day I didn't do recycling and my body felt weak.
It's just like exercising. If you stayed home, you will just be idling with nothing to do.
Among them, one suffered from muscular dystrophy and one had a stroke. Their health has improved since they started doing recycling.
I couldn't walk straight and my mouth couldn't speak clearly. Now that I'm doing recycling here, I no longer need to go to rehabilitation again. All I've done was to volunteer here. It has made me recover much better. I used to only come once a week. Now I come here 7 days a week.
Tzu Liaison Office in Yilan hosted a winter aid distribution and year-end hot pot event, inviting many care recipients to join. There was a massage area, a haircut area, and a second-hand clothing section. Volunteers also distributed spring couplets and red envelopes to wish everyone a blessed and happy Lunar New Year.
Tzu volunteers promote vegetarianism in global communities. Children from Tzu tutoring class in Malaysia also adopted a vegetarian diet. We'll leave you with these images and thank you for joining us. Goodbye.